I kind of liked this 75. This 75 felt okay. Let's change this one to call it, let's call it medium plus. Let's call it medium plus. Yeah, Unsubstantiate's been good. Been pretty happy with Unsubstantiate. Was not happy with Scepter. I'm happy with a couple of cryptic commands. So let's open a new copy here before we get to work. Yeah, Vapor Snag's a card that's crossed my mind. Vapor Snag is definitely a card that's crossed my mind. I don't want creatures in my main deck, chat. I don't want things that turn on my opponent's removal. Nah, Scepter was kind of clunky and awkward. Alright, so I think I want to try Serum Visions in this league. Actually, I'm going to trim at least one Rune Flare trap here. Psionic Blast is awkward. I'm not interested in playing Psionic Blast. Just gonna time people out that suggest cards that aren't legal in the format. Yeah, I've gone up to 2. They're just a little bit awkward at times because... What's the word I'm searching for? They're a little bit awkward because your health total gets low. Yeah, I don't think I want to play Blood Moon. The card's been really consistently bad. I'm gonna go up to the 4th Chalice. That's been great. Alright. I hit a couple of Vapor Snags. They let us protect our thing in the ice too. I think Arcane Denial would still be good. Like, if they wanted to let me counter their spell and then I draw a card and they don't, that sounds great. No, I don't really own any magic cards. Basically beg, borrow, and steal. I've got a Google Doc with cards that I'm being brought from like 4 different people to play this deck in Milwaukee. I think Thoughts of Ruin is loose. Yeah, Owl's just clunky. Sometimes it lets you steal games, but a lot of times it just doesn't do anything. Alright, I want to cut some more cards for these Serum Visions in the main deck. I'm just going to cut these Eye of Nowhere, probably. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? Burning Wish. Yes, I'm always happy to damage people's property with Sharpies at tournaments, so if you come to Milwaukee, I'll be happy to. Aspire, Bluff, Canal, good again. Maybe? I mean, I didn't add red cards, right? That's a lot of slots for a really awkward thing. Alright, I'm gonna go get some cards from MTGO traders here real quick. Oh, I wonder if they're open. I guess I can see if they're online. Yeah, they're open. Sweet. I want to try Cerebral Vortex. I've got 2 unsubstantiates here. They're technically more bounce spells. Remember, like, when you add a card like Serum Visions to your deck, we're adding more copies of every spell. Our deck is effectively becoming smaller. I am not adding Spire Bluff Sulfur Falls to my deck when I'm adding Serum Visions. Those do inverse things. Sulfur Falls might be okay, but it's definitely not better when I just added Serum Visions to my deck. These Vapor Snags don't seem pretty good. Seem very good. What do I want for these last 2 board slots? I mean, I've beaten Hollow One every time I've played it. Our bounce spells are actually pretty good against them. I'm just going to leave 4 Angers on my board. I literally have 4 Angers on my board. Do I need cards for Dredge? Oh, chat. Oh, chat. Do I need cards for Dredge? No. Thing's pretty good against them, too. I'll grab Storage Matrix. Maybe I'll put a Storage Matrix on the board. Storage Matrix is really good against creature decks. It's okay. Maybe it's not even. I hate letting my opponent make choices. Letting your opponent make choices is bad. Sun Droplets. I'll buy Sun Droplet. Yeah, I'd buy that. Let's try a few of those. Let's try a few Sun Droplets. Yeah, without the Blood Moons in the board, I might want more bounce spells for Tron. That's a real comment. Yeah, the Owl's like, okay, the Owl wins us some games we wouldn't otherwise win, but there's a lot of times where you draw and it's just, like, not particularly good, right? Well, I'm not even on for Rune Flare traps, BDP, so I think I want to max out on traps before I consider something like Trapmaker's Snare, right? We're nowhere near running out of bounce spells, chat. I don't even have Eye to Nowheres in the main deck right now. Owl's really good when you're ahead. When you're not ahead, it's kind of mediocre. I grabbed some Cerebral Vortexes. Do you want to try these? We're not a deck that has extra cards in our hand. When you're suggesting cards like Disrupting Shoal and things that require us to have 7 cards, we are not a deck that consistently has a lot of cards in hand. Boomerang's an instant. So do I want to change anything here? I don't think so. think we're just gonna try Serum Vision and see how that feels. Blood Moon's been consistently rancid in this deck. Blood Moon has been consistently rancid. We're not blanking Sundrop. We're not blanking Artifact Hate. Like, we're boarding in Chalice, we're boarding in Howling Mine, so, like... Is this better than something else we currently have? Deals damage to the number of cards they've drawn this turn. Put one more drop on the board in case we run into burn. Yeah, I don't think tutelage fixes problems that we have. I really don't want to split my what front we're playing on as well. Alright, let's try this. I don't want to spend too much time dicking around in the deck editor. It's boring just watching people click back and forth between 100 Twitch suggestions, and I always turn off streams when people are doing that, so let's just play some games and continue to get ideas for how they feel. It's pretty bad. Needs lands. Doesn't have a mine effect. It has this, but like that's not an actual mine effect, right? I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan this. Do you mean another filter land? I mean, this hand's keepable because it's got some Serum Visions in it. I'd keep this on the draw anyways with the Scry, but it's much better with Serum Visions in it, right? We're playing against Bogles or Nauseum. Smells like Bogles. It's interesting. I'm glad we're playing this matchup. I have no idea how this matchup goes. I feel like we have tools and can win here, but I don't actually know if that's true. I feel like I might just be making stuff up. Leyline stops our exhaustions, and it stops our Rune Flare traps. I mean, Owl's not going to do anything against Bogles for a long time, so I don't want to draw it until we're winning. So I disagree with your assessment that it hurts to bottom it. Because I'm not going to get to do anything with that card for a very, very long time. We're probably just dead here, right? I mean, I wasn't not playing a mountain because I was playing Blood Moon. Like, I'm not sure how you draw that parallel. Like, the mountain's better because we don't have Blood Moon. Like, I'm not playing a basic mountain because I have a bunch of double blue spells on 2 in my deck. Is the reason why I'm not playing a mountain. Why is Echoing Truth valuable? Can you use your words? Can you tell me why? Unsubstantiate. Remand are kind of mediocre here. I guess Anger's probably fine. I can bounce their Umbras. That's kind of funny, actually. If I'm planning to put Chalice on 1, do I trim a Serum Visions? Yeah, I'm going to trim at least 1. And I'll trim the Noxious Revival. Not these Sun Droplets, maybe? That's probably fine. Let's try this. I mean, can you be more specific, Shadowless? Be constructive, contribute. Which card in my sideboard right now is better than... Which card in my sideboard is better than Sundroplet? Schlangler with the 4x3 subscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I do appreciate the continued support. We are currently 8.5 hours into our 12-hour Howling Mind stream. I appreciate the comments. You're enjoying the costume. I'm enjoying the costume. Got 2 shots to the land or Serum Visions to redraw something else. Yeah, Revival could be okay. I'm boarding in 4 Chalices with the intention of putting Chalice on 1. So I'm like kind of apprehensive about... I'm kind of apprehensive about having too many 1-mana spells in my deck if I'm planning to throw Chalice on 1. Hey, DJ D's Nuts. Thank you. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. I like how Streamlabs just blanks it out. God bless Streamlabs. Sundropper looking pretty decent here. I think I'm just gonna pass here, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. We just don't get to 7 mana a lot, Bash Gooder. I think the inflexibility of Cyclonic Rift isn't worth the very narrow upside of like getting to 7 lands and getting to use it in that way. I mean, Sundroplet looks pretty good here, Shadowless. Like, I think it's just fine in general against generic aggressive decks like what my opponent is essentially playing. Like, my opponent, like, the Sundroplet has literally saved us, what, like 10 points of health so far? And it's going to gain us even more than that before this is over. Why aren't they attacking me? Do they not know what this card does? I'm so confused. I guess maybe they want to one-shot me? I think Hibernation is narrow and bad. I think Hibernation is narrow and bad. I think Hibernation's a lot like cards people have suggested, like, what's another good example of a card that's really narrow? Mindbreak Trap. When we play against Storm, there's always a bunch of people in chat that suddenly start suggesting Mindbreak Trap. Yes! I could play Hibernation if my goal was to beat Bogles. Yes! I could play Mindbreak Trap if my goal is to beat Storm. But that's not how you build good sideboards in a format like Modern. You build a good sideboard by having cards that are flexible in a variety of matchups, because Modern's a format where there's a lot of different decks that are competitive. We definitely need Ensnaring Bridge. We could have denied this Bogle its attacks if we had Ensnaring Bridge here. Alright, we're gonna diddle the crap out of this thing here in a second. Anchor dead. We need a thing in the ice like ASAP, and then maybe we won't be dead. Probably dead even if we hit it, but if we hit thing in the ice like right now, we could maybe steal this game. Okay. I don't know if one boomerang keeps us alive inside of this combat step. I think it will, but we'll see. We'll see. I think one boomerang's gonna keep us alive off this ethereal armor. Opponent's also drawing a lot of cards, right? So like they could find another ethereal armor, other stuff like that. Is a hard cast leyline? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right, so we get to bounce an ethereal armor, and then if we can cast, we need another 2-mana spell to cast next turn. Or a 1-mana spell, we need a Serum Visions. Or another Boomerang. Something along those lines so we can flip this thing in the ice over and send this Bogle back from whence he came. We're gonna take 13 and go to 6, but then we're gonna gain some counters back off the Sun Droplet. We actually can probably stay alive next turn by boomeranging the both. I would always, yes. 2-mana spell. Unfortunate. So we are 1 land short of being able to cast Anger plus these boomerangs this turn. Howling Mine doesn't trigger thing in the ice jet. It's not how magic works. It's not how magic works. Good try though. A+. Yeah, we drew a couple of lands. We just needed one more spell at the end there. We needed to draw the thing in the ice before we cast the Serum Visions, basically, right? Do y'all know how Umbras work? Yeah, I haven't actually counted if Boomerang the Ethereal Armors is still lethal. I think it is. It does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess it's only 6, 7, and we're going to 8. Yeah, that might be okay. Can pass here. Yeah, so I'd like to go to 8. If this card would be destroyed, the Totem Armor is destroyed instead. If anything would kill the Bogle lives and the Umbra dies instead. I think we live through this. I haven't actually counted. I think we lived through this. Which would be amazing. No, just one does. This is a replacement effect. I think we live. This is only going to be like 6 power, I think, right? I think this goes... Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Come on. Oh, we need a Chalice of the Void, chat. We need a Chalice of the Void, chat. We really need a Chalice of the Void. So when we flip this bad Mamma Jamma, we get to... what's it called? We get to lock them out of replaying their dorks. Do you have a Path to Exile? Seriously? What a tilt. What a tilt. Alright, now we're dead. I like the part where they just had lethal there and then decided not to kill us. If they would have pathed pre-combat and attacked with everything, we'd have died. Well, it doesn't matter because we're dead. I guess I can draw a cryptic command, right? Draw a cryptic command is always an out. I mean, why is that a ghost? They want to kill the thing in the ice before it flips. There's no reason to assume that's a ghost. Just a good play. It was a good play after a bad play of missing lethal. I mean, never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity. Sometimes you're not sure what to sideboard, so you leave your paths in. I mean, like, a lot of these decks board in creatures onto the board, so, like, leaving path in post-board is not completely unreasonable. Don't say bad things about the opponent. They might just, like, not know what they're doing, or they might be new at the deck, they might be fumbling around a little bit, they might be distracted, you know? When you're playing Magic Online at home, you're often doing other things while you do it. It's okay. Not super exciting, but fine. Howling Mine is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm gonna bottom it on land because I definitely want a third one of those here. Storm? It smells like Storm. Opponent may be distracted by their own Bogle costume, right? Now the opponent's playing Storm. Shivan Reef, the only non-budget deck in Modern that plays Shivan Reef is Storm, so unless they're playing a budget deck, they're playing Storm. Yep, Storm's very bad. They're a deck that doesn't care about, that doesn't have board presence for us to boomerang. They kill from very little resources. They kill from cards in their hand, and we give them lots of cards in their hand. Unsub does not interact with Storm Triggers, nope. Storm Triggers are not part of the spell. Not even true. The original deck played Counterflux. That's not true. I'm just assume we're dead. We can only cast one spell here. So, one of the things that's really important to do when you're testing, and this is just a good thing to know in general, is that you should not make a ton of changes to a deck that you are trying to test all at once. So I did not get Collective Defiances because this league, I wanted to see how Serum Visions feels. And if I make a bunch of changes and suddenly the deck feels bad or much worse, it can be hard to pinpoint from your testing whether or not which change you made that made the deck feel worse. So I want things. I want Chalice. I want Bend to Click. I'm gonna trim this Ebony Owl. What else do I want to get here? I think 5 cuts. Last time I cut Cryptic Command, then I ended up getting in trouble because of it. So I don't think I want to do that. Boomerang, bouncing their lands and stuff really isn't a winning proposition, so I think I'm just going to cut the boomerangs. Unsubstantiate's fine because it interacts with spells in the stack. I'm just gonna cut a Howling Mine, actually. Feeding them cards is kind of medium. I mean, we literally played the Pro Tour list, if that's what you're asking. This is a good keep. So, we're looking for a land. Serum Vision makes this hand keepable. The idea is that if we're putting Chalice on 2, they won't be able to play Magic and we will eventually win the game. You are right that we have a lot of 2s and putting Chalice on 2 is ambitious. That being said, Chalice is good in a wide variety of matchups, and putting Chalice on 2 I feel is the best way for us to steal a game win in this matchup. So my hope is either to get Thing in the Ice in play before we put Chalice on 2, or draw a Vendiclick after we put Chalice on 2, and win in that manner. Watch an owl play Magic. I mean, that just sounds like a good children's show, right? An owl explaining the scientific method. Come on, land. Land! Yeah, TT or Fevered Visions. No, I don't think so, Lucatog. Serum Vision is just a more powerful card for finding the cards you actually want to use to win the game. So I think I'd rather just have the more powerful card in a cantrip. Op's a pretty miserable cantrip. It doesn't really find you stuff most of the time. There's an owl right here. Owling Mine. It says owl right in the card name. Owling Mine. Am I dead? Man, you know what card's really too strong for Modern? Stoneforge Mystic. I'm really glad my opponents can't play a 4/4 lifelink Vigilance on turn 3. That's too powerful. Dying on turn 3 to Storm, though, is fine. Getting carded on turn 3, that's fine. Oh, Magic. Oh, Magic. I conceded because I play Magic to have fun. And at that point, our opponent was statistically very likely to kill us. And sitting here being miserable while my opponent eventually kills us isn't a good use of my time. It's not a good use of the time that the 1,400 people that are watching here is. I can concede and I can get to the next matchup. If I'm playing a tournament, I'll make my Storm opponent click through their combo, sure. Because like I have to wait for the next round of the tournament, right? But on Magic Online, I can just hop right back into another queue rather than sitting there and being miserable. Go to a porn site, not Twitch, right? I mean, to be fair, I've watched other people stream a lot, and if you watch other people stream on Twitch, other people that stream on Twitch love sitting there and being miserable while Storm kills them. Like, deterministically dead, well, they could misclick, so I'm gonna sit here and be miserable for the next 2 minutes. It's just like, nah, brah, your life's too short. Just concede and move on. Yeah, like, when you're trying to get games in, like, we know it's bad. We have a route to try and steal it. Ooh, this match is probably hard, but this is a matchup where Blood Moon in the board would be useful, or is useful. Twin is too good, right? Yep. Bring to light Scapeshift looks like. Alright. Alright, sweet. Bring to light Scapeshift is probably marginally better for us than red-green shift. Our fevered visions are going to deal a lot of damage to them very quickly here. And we do have unsub and double remand here so far. So, and like, once we unsub or remand them off their combo for a turn, we can exhaustion them out for the next couple of turns. So, we're not in a terrible spot. I did not update Stream Decker. Thank you. It feels weird to update Stream Decker when we're still playing the same deck, so I keep forgetting. Still playing the same archetype. Jace! I say they're definitely Fate Stealing me. I feel like they should scry here. I guess we're both seeing a ton of cards, so it's like, whatever. Am I exhaustioning them this turn? I think I am. Do I want to just motorboat down this Jace? Nah, they're at 15. If they want to draw more cards, that's fine. I don't really think I care about them brainstorming, right? They missed a land drop there, didn't they? I think they did. I don't actually remember. Alright, don't untap. Go. I don't think I'll actually have that much negative impact, especially playing a weird deck like this. Like, people just won't have practice having played against a deck like this. So they're down to 7. I'm going to exhaustion them again here. Yeah, the Noxious Revivals have been really good, Justin. 2 might be right. 2 might be right. Opponents had enough. Opponents had enough. All right, so click sounds great. I'm boarding anything out? What do I want to cut? What do I want to cut? Click seems great. I want to cut some things. Chalice for 4 could never lose. Maybe it's just a couple of boomerangs. Yeah, I'm just gonna trim a couple of boomerangs. I like Skeins for triggering trap. Nah, if I grind this deck all week, so I'm gonna show you the donation deck list queue. This queue has 45 decks in it. This queue keeps getting larger with me playing Magic 30 plus hours a week. If I take a week off of playing donation deck lists, I just will have infinite in there. Plus, like, variety is the spice of life. Getting to play lots of different things is entertaining and educational. You should get a feel for how Modern works in general. Just playing Modern in general is good practice. This is Blue-Red Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, Blue-Red Fevered Visions isn't an inaccurate title. Fevered Visions is the best card in this deck. Yeah, it does. I just feel like my opponent is going to get more lands than they need a lot of the time. Pokemon Nerd, with that brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. Hard to tell, Dump Warbreaker. I'm really bad at telling the future, so I try not to do it. Bouncing Valakut in response to Scapeshift doesn't really do what you want it to do, I don't think. I'm not sure what you think it does, but it probably doesn't have the results you're wanting. That's fine. The Serum Visions have felt okay. It's like being able to keep hands like this and not feel as bad about it. Isochron Scepter felt a little bit clunky. We are just over 9 hours into the 12-hour stream right now. Kinda. Like, by not having boomerangs in your deck, you are making other parts of your game plan significantly worse. So like the Ebony Owls and the Rune Flare traps and stuff like that get worse if you're just like playing more burn spells. Alright, opponent, have some cards back that you mulliganed. I am wearing the costume to Milwaukee. Oh no, are they gonna have a big scary turn 3 Jace again? How will we ever win the game? I'm earning my screen name now. That, it's a good draw. Pick it up. Go. Really hoping for a land there, but it is what it is. Nice backup plan, right? So this is 6 mana. So Jace. Now, Unsubstantiate helps us win on the stack, which is a place that we care about winning. Do damage to Jace. No, I think we're just gonna win through Jace again. Here is the plan. Winning through Jace, I think, is the plan. Play the Howling Mine out. Pass the turn here. I'm just going to bin this Serum Vision at this point. I agree that we probably don't need Serum Vision draws in this deck late, but early they feel pretty good. See where they put this. They put it on top. I'll just crack my fetch. I didn't Exhaustion because Exhaustion gets better the more lands and Howling Mine effects you have in play. So by waiting to exhaustion, my exhaustion becomes more powerful. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and trap them here. My hand's pretty full. I have a bunch more traps in my deck. If they want to tap out for like cryptic command here, I just get to exhaustion them. And if they don't want to counter this, they going down to 6 and I have a Fever Visions in play. No, don't redirect. You go to 6. It's another Rune Flare trap. Nah, Dream Fracture is just clunky and slow. If I want more expensive spells in the deck, I think I would just play more copies of... What's it called? More copies of, oh, I'm blanking on the name. I would play more copies of... Cryptic Command. I think I want to just leave mana up for interacting with my opponent here. So I think I don't want the Owl. I think I'm just on like the win with Fevered Visions and a Vendilion Clique plan. Like I have Remand and Unsub here. And again, like this is just a situation where like Unsub I think is better than Boomerang. Because like if my opponent wants to do something now, my exhaustion start gaining text, which is great. They're also going to like have to interact with this Rune Flare trap on their end of turn, or they're dead. Like they're kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't. Kill you in response. Sweet. Got him. So Serum Vision felt okay there. Nice to push through to find the lands we need in the early game, and then we just gotta loot through them in the late game. Yeah, Rune Flare Trap is really good. It's really good. If I don't play Serum Visions, we're playing 4 traps. 10 out of 10. I know they could lost the guy in an owl suit. Buy them Rune Flare traps. I actually have to find a couple more Rune Flare traps. Star City only had 2 in stock. That's fine. And again, like this is a hand where Serum Visions looks really great, right? Like this hand has lands and it has a couple of good tools, but this hand really needs a Howling Mine effect. So I would like to dig for a Howling Mine or a Fever Visions here, and Serum Visions helps me do that. I don't want any of these cards. Howdy, Chris. Love the art on this. It's a good draw. That's exactly what we're looking for. And again, Serum Visions plowed us through 3 cards to get us to this Howling Mine. I'm sure we're going to get Spell Stared and be really sad, but like... yeah, Serum Vision seems dope. Should probably just play that card. Should probably play Serum Visions. Oh, interesting. Okay, so our Remand and our Unsubstantiate should be pretty good here. What I'm playing mono blue Living End, it looks like. Doesn't Matt have modern staple Root Flare Trap? I need to check the local game stores in town. There's two LGSs in the town where I live. I'm just gonna hold up a counterspell here, I think. For their what's it called? Their As Foretold. Now I'm doing okay. I haven't even actually hit the caffeine yet. At 6 o'clock, maybe we'll... I still have some adult beverages in my fridge. Maybe we'll drink some of those. Alright, if they just pass here, I'm going to try and boomerang one of their lands. I hope I take a lot of pictures at the open. It should be fun. Should be fun. Another Unsubstantiate, sweet. And this is a good example where, like, these unsubs could be a little bit better as a eye to nowhere, right? Because I could be, like, picking up more of my opponent's lands up and advancing our game plan that way. But I don't think we're in a bad spot with where we're currently at. Will you make much ad revenue from this stream? I have no idea. I don't really have a good way to correlate. I know what my total ad revenue is from YouTube, but I don't have a good, fantastic correlation between like one video to it. I guess I could math it out. Could probably math it out. They tap out for As Foretold here. We'll remand it and then probably untap and exhaustion them. Once we get to untap. So you get to untap with 2 things here. Do I want to play this Fevered Visions? I kind of do. Yeah, I'm just going to jam this Fevered Visions. I'm going to set my goals obtainable. I would be pretty happy if I like top 64 at the open. Like let's be realistic here. I'm not fighting over this because I'd rather be able to fight over my opponent's As Foretold and their cards that really matter. Here's some bits because I just want to remember ad blocker means no ad revenue for me. Thank you, Wannabe Beetle. Just subscribing to a channel. Like honestly, if you ad block, even donating $1 to your favorite content creator when you use ad block, like that's more than we probably get from you one person watching ads, right? Okay, top 4, you're right. That's kind of a tilt. Looking for a land here. Hey, Bandoozle. Thank you. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Huh. I'm gonna go top on these. Porky Pads with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for sending your Amazon fun money this way this month. I do appreciate that. And there's a lot of different streamers out there. You could be watching it, sending that to you, and thanks for spending it here this month. Hey, Moan3564. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. All right, so I could boomerang a land here. It's annoying. I wanted those cards that were on top of my deck. I think I want all of these. I think my exhaustion is running to a point where it's not going to be very good. I'm going to bin this. I'm going to bin this. I'm just going to bin Fevered Visions. I think I'm too far off of Fevered Visions being able to do anything. Honestly, we might be on the just, like, remand them and then deck them plan. You probably just want to, like, save up some red sources, then trap them a bunch here. Like, we have these Howling Mines going. Ideally, I don't want to miss any more land drops. It really kind of sucks. Well, if they have counter plus as Foretold Justin, I have, what's it called? Do I want to Noxious Revival my Steam Vents here? That's probably loose. I didn't have a land to get last turn, Mark. I could Noxious Revival for a land now. Is it that important? Yeah, it's probably that important. I'm going to put the Steam Vents on top of my deck. Getting ahead on mana here is a pretty big deal, I think. They've been 3 cards. Already got there anyways. The double got there. All right, I'm going to shock this in so we have 3 pieces of interaction up here. Thoughts on Rise from the Tides. It's like some bad zombie card, right? That seems slow and clunky. I don't need 5 and 6 mana cards in our deck. The 5 and 6 mana cards answer none of the questions we're trying to answer. We're basically just like hanging tight till we hit some traps here at this point. And we're drawing so many cards that I'm going to go counter target spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. So counter this, bounce your land. I should have bounced an untapped land here. Whatever, details. Exhaustion's pretty dope. Fevered Visions is dope. All right. So the fact that they tapped out there and we drew Exhaustion gives us a window to stick this Fevered Visions to actually try and win the game now, which is great. So you go to sleep. We do get F6 value, that's true. That's a trap. That's a boomerang. And try and kill them at their end step here. Actually, I'm just going to boomerang a land here because I'm going to have to discard otherwise, right? I'm still gonna have to discard, but I'll have to discard slightly less. I'm gonna bin this Howling Mine and this Fevered Visions, I think. Just wanna keep hitting my land drops. Streaming is basically like being a parent. You just repeat yourself constantly. If you're not okay with repeating yourself constantly, you can't stream. It's not something you should do. So they're gonna go to 12 here. I'm gonna go ahead and Rune Flare trap them. I think they have Mana Leak, so I'm not gonna Vision Skeins first. We're gonna put them to 1, and they'll die to the Fevered Visions next turn. The problem with Gemstone Caverns is you have to draw it in the mid game. And I can't afford to cut a blue source, and I don't want to cut a spell for it. I don't want to cut a spell for it, and I don't want to cut a blue source. Are they mana leaking me? So they just take one less? That doesn't really matter, right? I think they're coming to that conclusion that it just doesn't really matter, and they'd rather hold up mana leak on my turn. Yep, backs it in, sweet. Chalice of the Void's great, right? Just like counter all your 0 mana things. Chalice is just constantly just like random match. You're just like, Chalice of the Void's really good here, isn't it? And it's just like, yes, yes it is. I like most of my main deck here. Is Exhaustion bad? Is it nuts to cut Exhaustion? No backup Chalice on zeros. Yes, yes, duly noted. Unsubstantiate's been really good. I've really liked the 2 of these. It's like rebands 5 and 6. The Scepter version was a little clunky. Was not a huge fan. Almost time for Moto reboot again. Yep, almost 2 gigs of RAM. It's feeling slow. Conflagrate's actually kind of cute. Yeah, Click's probably okay. They probably don't have a lot of removal for it, right? What do you think of this? No, I want all 4 Chalices. I think if I have Chalice on 0, they basically can't win the game. Like, if they can't Living in me, they're going to be locked out of the game. And that's where I want to be in life. Let's try this. I mean, it was okay. Exhaustion helped us win sooner, but I think we would have likely won that game even without the Exhaustion. Again, this is another hand that's a keep because of the Serum Visions. Without the Serum Visions, this hand is very, very keepable. Anger and Conflagrate do completely different things. Anger and Conflagrate do completely different things. Our boomerangs and stuff are really good against Plan D. Yeah, I didn't say they don't have answers to Chalice. I'm just saying while we have Chalice out, we have a lot of insulation. Perfect. Go top here. I'm timing you out. When people make card suggestions based on not knowing what the text of cards is, I'm just gonna go read Browbeat, go read Trap. Go read Browbeat, go read Trap. That's my suggestion. Go read Browbeat, go read Trap. So one of the things that's kind of interesting here is I have the Chalice of the Void on 0, which means I don't feel compelled to fight over As Foretold as much, but like if they have As Foretold in play, that generates a mana advantage for them, and having a mana advantage is really good from the axis we're trying to fight them on. So like, is the Chalice good when, because like they're getting to have As Foretold now, right? Do I want to play a backup Chalice for 0? No, that doesn't work like Engineered Explosives. Never mind. All right, we've done that before. Let's not do that again. Do I want... Do I want to play another Howling Mine here? If I play Howling Mine and they have Cryptic Command Living End, I feel really bad. On the other hand, if I stick Howling Mine, I'm more likely to hit my land drops and more likely to bury them in cards. So if they have Cryptic plus Living End, we're probably dead here. So maybe this isn't worth the risk. I don't know. I feel like if I had a 4th land, I'd wait on this Howling Mine. But because I don't have a 4th land anyways, I want to just gem it. You're correct. Browbeat person wasn't wrong. Look at that. That's still really slow and clunky. Oh, do they not have a land? That's insanely good for us. Land, please. Land, please. Ding. All right. Just gonna pass for now. Usually just Cryptic Command. Missing on lands when there's 2 Howling Mines in play feels real bad. Do I want to bounce As Foretold or do I want to bounce a land? I think I want to bounce As Foretold, right? I probably should have done this during their upkeep in response to the As Foretold trigger, because now they can Cryptic Command plus play a 2-mana counterspell off of this. So I think my sequencing here was bad. I think my sequencing here is bad. Yeah. I'm gonna remand my Boomerang. We get Cryptic Did. We get Cryptic Did. Wonder if this is going to be a Cryptic Command of their own. They're returning a Howling Mine? Sure. Alright, let's jam this. We have Remand and Unsub to fight whatever they want to play off As Foretold here. I mean, decks that are bad always have thin margins of error, right? Because, like, good decks are doing powerful things. So, like, if you mess up with your deck doing powerful things, the deck's going to be able to carry you to victory a non-zero amount of the time. Does this bounce my Chalice, put your things into play? Feels like it. Yeah. I think the people that suggested Chalice on 0 wasn't good enough were right. I think the people that suggested Chalice on 0 wasn't good enough were right. The way, like, I wasn't thinking about it. This isn't like the traditional Living End matchup that we've played a few times where if we can stop Living End, they can't win the game. We need to keep As Foretold off the table in this matchup because them having the mana advantage is really bad for us. So, and again, like, this is why testing is more important than the results, like getting a feel for the matchups, like learning that I don't want this card against the mono blue Living End deck. That makes this testing successful, in my opinion. Like, that's the kind of information I'm looking to gain. I'm looking to get a feel for non-intuitive things like that are going to come from playing random matches with this deck. Trying to identify what we're doing in each matchup and what our best axis of attack is for doing that. It's not even about keeping their number of cards in hand. It's just about letting them force things through, basically. Seems very good. Turn 1 Howling Mine on the play. Yeah, I agree, Justin. Also, they had, like, Dispel, so, like, when it had one counter, we would have just gotten Dispelled if we did that, but I agree that we should have done it on our turn. I agree that I should have just done it on my turn. This is going to be an upkeep, boomerang your only island turn. It's going to be an end step, boomerang your only island. Did we? Okay. Maybe things okay. Maybe things okay based on the premise that we want to, what's the word I'm searching for? We want to, if Living End resolves are probably dead anyways. I'm just gonna Rune Flare Trap now. Yes, they drew a card. Yeah, I get one more damage if I wait, but I expose myself to getting blown out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and crack this, go get Steam Vents, and then trap them now for 9. God bless your cycle. I think there should be 5 traps. It's like, I think there should be 4 probably. I don't know. I had to cut something for Serum Visions, but cutting a trap was probably wrong. Trap is great. So upkeep, I'm going to send one of these islands back here, hopefully. It'd be funny if they mana leak us, because I have a Spirit Guide. Noxious Revival is like our extra trap card, basically, right now. I mean, yup. Are we annoying you yet, opponent? Yeah, the fact that Trap synergizes with Skeins is just so powerful. Just like jump up and kill you from very little. Netsuk is very powerful here. Whoa, that's an aggressive cycle. They probably don't have a good way to get cards out of their hand here. Spell Pierce. Oh, this is getting cards out of their hand. I'm gonna say no here, and then I'm gonna play Fevered Visions. Because then we could possibly just kill them with Rune Flare Trap next turn. I mean, like, what are other traps that we actually want to play in my sideboard? Are there other trap cards that I actually want to play? I guess Ravenous Trap is good against Storm. It's like okay against Storm. I don't know, good, okay against Storm. Because I want the Spirit Guide for Rune Flare Trap to be a surprise. They also could have had another Spell Pierce there. Oh, Mind Break Trap. Yeah, you're right. Mind Break Trap's the thing. So what we're gonna do here is, so Fevered Vision is gonna put them to 7. On our turn, we're going to Cryptic Command, bounce as Foretold, tap their creatures, and then Exhaustion them. And then the following turn, we'll hard cast Rune Flare Trap to kill them. So I believe they should just be locked out at this point. 6 cards. Or we can draw Unsubstantiate and just kill them this turn. Right, because unsub lets me bounce plus pitch 2 Spirit Guides, Rune Flare Trap, Hardcast. Is there anything that punishes that line? Is there anything that punishes Unsubstantiate, Hardcast, Rune Flare Trap for exactly lethal? Anything? Anything? Any 0 mana cards, Phyrexian mana cards cost them health? Well, they're at 6 right now, Justin. Pact of Negation. It's something like Pact. All of our lines lose to Pact of Negation, right? They don't usually play Simian Spirit Guides, but I guess it's worth it to play around them. Macabre. Yeah, Mana Monkey. Okay, so I'm gonna go with my original line here. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Tap all creatures your opponent controls. So I'm gonna bounce this and tap all their creatures. And I'm gonna pitch this and cast Exhaustion. And again, I'm playing around Fairy Macabre and Simian Spirit Guide by doing this. It's not Pact of Negation I'm playing around. I'm playing around Simian Spirit Guide and Fairy Macabre. The ability to discard cards from their hand so my thing wouldn't be lethal. I have another Exhaustion in my hand. We're gonna fill their hand up here. Fever Vision's gonna hit them a little bit more. There's no reason not to be super conservative here. I could pitch Spirit Guide and Rune Flare Trap them during the end step, but that loses to Dispel and Spell Pierce. So I'm going to go to my turn here. Because if I hit an untapped land, I can Rune Flare Trap with Unsubstantiate up. I don't actually know which timing you're talking about, Justin. I'm not following. Land. All right, sweet. Vision Skeins actually does it here too, right? No, that's not true. He's Austin you again. We could just keep exhausting them and let the fever do the work. I also get to like play this click here, right? Like double check and know exactly what's going on. Pitch my Simian Spirit Guide, cast my Vendilion Click. I think we're the first person in Modern to ever do that. That'd be pretty close. Probably not a whole lot of people on that plan. Probably not a ton of people on that plan. We could Rune Flare, but if they had Pierce plus Dispel, we lose there. So again, just being super conservative. No reason to get overly aggressive in a game that we're likely winning. If they had Dispel plus Pierce or 2 of 1 and none of the other. Sand just doesn't do anything, right? Like it's got mana, but it doesn't have any way to accelerate into things. This hand's got a turn 1 Howling Mine. Pretty obligated to bottom that. I'm a little sad to have to do it, but we definitely need to dig for lands here, right? I want that Fevered Visions really badly, but it's just, alas, it's not meant to be. Dark Slick, Short Sleight of Hand, Ad Nauseum. I think this matchup's actually okay for us, but don't quote me on that. This is a matchup where Blood Moon is good. Chalice is good here too, though. We've got those on our board still. Yeah, all the Sultai Jace decks we've played post unbanning it felt really clunky and awkward. Come on, come on. Oh, redraw. Come on. Ding. Ding. All right, so God, I kind of want these, but I need to hit lands, right? I need to hit lands. Remand's pretty good though. I'm gonna bottom the Boomerang and top the Remand. If we brick on a land next turn, I'll just cast Vision Skeins. Remand's just very good in this matchup. Unsub's not a terrible draw. Sweet. Boomerang's a good pickup. Yeah, people keep suggesting Molten Psyche. I don't think people realize the math on how many artifacts you need to hit Metalcraft consistently. Was it Tom that made the Mox command? God bless the Mox command, really. God bless the Mox command. Alright, we just want to hit all of the land drops here. All of the land drops. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Say we could die here. I'm gonna be a little conservative and just boomerang this unlife now. I think the chances of us dying next turn are almost nothing. Although I guess we could lose. No, they don't have double black. Yeah, I just want to do this now. That way, I guess we could lose next turn. They have... Oh, Lotus Bloom's coming off, right? Nope, Lotus Bloom's not coming off for 2 turns. Yeah, this boomerang here is good. Chalice does stop Lotus Bloom from coming in. Yeah, they almost certainly have Pact of Negation. Hopefully they don't have 2 packs and Boomerang plus Remand can get us there next turn. The problem with Madcap in this deck is people are already bringing in artifact and enchantment hate against you, and if your transformative sideboard loses to the same cards your main deck loses to, it's a shitty transformative sideboard. The point of pivoting or changing sideboard plans is supposed to be that you get to dodge things that were previously good against your other plan. I don't even think I want to remand the Lotus Bloom. I'm pretty sure we're just letting it resolve. Really wanted to draw a land there. Really wanted to draw a land there. Breach Emrakul doesn't actually kill our opponent, chat. Breach Emrakul doesn't actually kill our opponent. So I want to, if we're going to change the board into a combo, I would prefer that it kill them. I think we're dead. Well, so the problem with the exhaustion here is it doesn't accomplish anything, chat. There's a Lotus Bloom coming off suspend next turn, so if my opponent has an untapped land, which they very likely do because we've let them draw a bunch of cards, my opponent still has 5 mana to cast Ad Nauseum off Lotus Bloom plus a land. So exhaustion doesn't actually accomplish anything. Yeah, but if the read is that my opponent has a Pact of Negation, I want to try and play around that. if I remand the Lotus Bloom and my opponent has untapped land, Ad Nauseum, Pact of Negation, I just die, chat. Yeah, I honestly think we're probably just screwed no matter how we slice it, because the opponent's playing well and they're going to go for an instant speed here. Yeah, we really need chalices. Click's pretty good in this matchup too. Maybe I'll board in some TTs. This is a matchup where Ebony Owl Netsuke is very good. I only cut a land from the deck because we added 4 Serum Visions, chat. I only cut a land from the deck because we wanted 4 Serum Visions. That being said, you're probably right. We were on 20 lands, and then I needed to cut 4 things to add 4 Serum Visions. Maybe they don't have Pact of Negation. This was a long tank here. Feels like a long tank for someone that has Ad Nauseum plus Pact of Negation. Oh, Magic players. Maybe they just are bad at using Magic Online. Maybe they're just bad at using Magic Online. Alright, Chalice can come in. Click can come in. I think I need Noxious Survival. Is a thing in the ice matchup? It's definitely a Netsuke matchup. I like Howling Mine. I'm not gonna board in thing. I'm gonna cut 1 Serum Visions just because we put Chalice on 0 and 1 in this matchup. Put Chalice on 0 and 1 in this matchup. Doesn't Chalice have the same problem as the Madcap plan? So the Madcap plan requires me to completely change my main deck. It requires me to cut all of my Howling Mines and like not have my main deck plan. Chalice of the Void supplements my main plan. Chalice of the Void supplements my main plan. Am I playing this for 0? I'm just gonna hold this for now, right? Because I want them to suspend Lotus Bloom if they have it. I talked about that. I talked about it just being a lose-lose situation and me not having any good line, so that's what it is. Yeah, buddy. Get him. I think Unsubstantiate is fine. Unsubstantiate is often Time Walk. Also, like, if my opponent has, I'll put this on 1. We do have Serum Visions in my deck, but I think putting this on 1 is good. Yeah, Unsub hits Ad Nauseum on the stack. Yeah, the costume's great. The chin strap is itchy on the bottom, but it stays on just fine. Stays on just fine as is. I'm gonna cast this and beat them down. Go. This card costs 6. That's how it interacts. This card costs 6. Yeah, Echoing Truth would be annoying. If I hit another land, it's fine. Maybe I should have held this because I was short on lands. I don't know. Casting these when you pull the counters off is not optional. Or, it is optional, but you can't cast them again later. Trigger. And this is again why I'm really happy with the 4 Chalice on the board. These are definitely 4 slots. I'm not sure on the right mix of Thing in the Ice and Vendilion and Angers, but I know I want 4 Chalice 2-click in my sideboard next weekend. I know those are cards that I 100% want to be playing. Alright, Fever Vision is going to allow us to beat them down here a little bit, which is nice. It'll increase our clock and also start feeding us more cards, which is great. Yeah, I'm just going to jam this, and then they can play their thing next turn, and that's fine. So do I want to just 8 them here? I think I do. Do I want to just 8 them? Hey, G. Wilkers with the Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that, as always. Subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here, so thank you, thank you, thank you. G. Wilkers. G. Wickers. I'm gonna play this out because again, we see enough cards with this deck that thinning our deck is statistically significant a lot of the time. Another Cryptic Command is great. If opponent casts Ad Nauseum, we just bounce this in response. I'm going to cast Vision Schemes here. I don't have to worry about Pact of Negation since I have Chalice of the Void, so just 1 Unsubstantiate here should be enough to keep them from Ad Nauseuming me. I'm not sure the Shun Droplets are worthwhile. We haven't played against any aggressive decks yet in this league, but they're probably too narrow for what we want that slot to do. You gotta figure out what exactly I want these last few slots to do. Statistically significant is the name of my autobiography, probably. Man, can we give it up for this Mana Monkey here? He ain't nobody's bitch. That one. Ship it back. Alright. Alright. I don't think I want to change anything here. Hey, J Pinter MTG with the Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that as always. Subs are the best way you can help me keep doing what I do here. Coming up on 1,100 sub points and almost 1,000 unique subscribers. Y'all, that's kind of crazy. Thank you all for the support. I do appreciate it. Genuinely never expected streaming card games to be more than a hobby. I guess I should have put on owl costume sooner, huh? Remember, if you haven't caught all of our streaming today, we've been streaming Owling Mine for a little over 10 hours. There's also a bunch of leagues that we've played in weeks past. My YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. You can check out all of my stream replays on there. I'm eating some grapes. Some grapes. Nimble Obstructionist sounds interesting. It's also another threat card that can beat people down. Maybe that's worthwhile. This hand seems great. We've turn 1 Howling Mine, turn 2 Boomerang, turn 3 Fever Visions. Another Boomerang, sign me up. That's kind of scary. We could die here. Restart Magic Online before the next league. Oh, they missed a land drop. It's really good for us. Huh. Do I want to Vision Schemes here to try and find a Chalice? I think I do, right? I think that's my best line to win. Alright, we've got Spirit Guide, Filter. This is why I left the Cascade Plus up. Bounce the Pentad Prism. Go. We could lose on their turn still. They just need land, Angel's Grace, Ad Nauseum. So we could die here, 10 out of 10. I think it's worth the risk. I think that was worth the risk. That was the correct line. Yeah, the Cascade Bluffs turning Spirit Guides into Boomerangs is so fantastic. Alright. Alright, what do I actually want to do now? I feel like every time we... So, like, Serum Visions felt really good that league, but actually every time we cast it, we were just looking for a land with it, right? Was there any... Thank you for the reminder on restarting Magic Line. Was there any time we cast a Serum Vision that league when we weren't just looking for a land? There wasn't, right? This deck is certainly super medium. The goal is to make it as least medium as possible. I think I'm just going to go up to 21 lands. We did dig for Owling Mine one single time. That's fair. My kids love the costume. Howdy, DMS. Howdy, DMS's children. DMS, what are your kids' names? You don't have to tell me their first names if you want. I will say them on stream, though. I know Declan gets a kick out of that. Yeah, I think... They do make Thing in the Ice out of the board a little bit better, but I don't think that's worth it. There was one time we dug for a mine. Otherwise, I felt like we always needed lands. Carly and Aiden. Hi, Carly. Hi, Aiden. Flip, flip, flip. All right, so... And I think if we cut the Serum Visions, we can try Sulfur Falls. Howdy, Cecile and Liliana. Hi. Woo, woo, woo. All right, let's get a couple of Sulfur Falls in here. I think if I want to go up to 21, we want to I'm gonna get a Center of the Sea in here. Yeah, Spire Bluff Canals was kind of awkward, I agree. Yeah, the bolts weren't particularly impressive. I'm not sure that I like bolts. Can I just play a 9th mine? How do we feel about playing a 9th Howling Mine? And we'll think about the sideboard in a second. Let's hide that for now. You tested Chalice main deck. It might just help against some of the aggressive matchups. I just feel like there's enough decks in Modern where Chalice doesn't do enough that I don't want it. It's a 9th mine. We can play a Temple Bell or a Dictate of Krufix as a 9th Howling Mine effect. Do I want a Temple Bell or a Dictate of Krufix? I think I would play more Cryptic Command before I played Snapcaster Mage. Snapcaster Mage in this deck is a 4-drop, and I think Cryptic Command just does what Snapcaster Mage does better. Yeah, I agree, Laradex. I kind of just want... Yeah, the Temple Bell is better, a little bit better with Ebony Owl. Also, Temple Bell plus Vision Skeins lets me Rune Flare Trap on my turn. All right, I'm in for a Taco Bell. I think I'm in for a Taco Bell. The Dictate is better with our counter spells. It is, yeah. Fine, we'll play the better card. There's a reason why blue-red taking turns takes 4 Dictate, right? All right, I don't think these Sun Droplets, I think these were probably too cute. All right, so let's sort this out. So this is mana. These are win conditions. These are things that draw cards. These are time walks. These are, this draws cards. All right, yeah, this is tempo. What do I want the rest of these slots to do? Is a splash worthwhile? I feel like the splash just isn't worth it. Like, unlike a lot of modern decks, we're not playing a bunch of fetch lands in this deck. I really, the moons in the board have felt really anemic. Yeah, what matchups are we trying to get an edge on? I almost feel like a small number of counter spells could be okay in the board. Counter spells are good in the combo matchups, and there are also more cards that we could bring in against control decks. Oh, Nimble Obstructionist is a card that had been mentioned too. I don't mind Nimble Obstructionist. It's also, Nimble Obstructionist is a threat that's not 2 mana against Storm too, so that way when we have Chalice out, we can... Counterflux isn't a terrible idea. I don't hate Counterflux. What do you think about that card? Is that too much mana? Counterflux is good against Tron too. Control decks are kind of a decent matchup, but you know, things that are flexible are good. Kranos is narrow and bad. It's really clunky. I don't want a bunch of really clunky cards. Exhaustion is low-key one of the best cards in this deck. Exhaustion is low-key one of the best cards in this deck. Not close. Locust God is clunky and slow. I think Nimble Obstructionist is probably just slightly better than what... another card. Yeah, I like 4 Disruptive Flash Flyers on the board, too. I like that idea a lot. Is Thing in the Ice good enough? Maybe he's too slow. Maybe we just go to 2 of him and put the 4th Anger of the Gods in. Anger is generally better than Thing against the really aggressive creature decks. No, I think I'd rather just have a bunch of Angers. The Nimble Obstructionists are for anywhere we want an additional clock, like other combo decks, and they also can stifle things like fetch lands and control decks. I think the more I think about Storage Matrix, the less I like it. Blood Moon's been really bad in this deck. You should go watch other videos we've played with this deck and see how anemic Blood Moon is. This is probably good. This is still like 6 threats. Anger's okay. Yeah, Thing does give us some extra board wipes, so I definitely want some of them. Yeah, Thing, I also like the games where we draw multiple things are kind of awkward, so I think that's fine. I kind of wouldn't mind 2 Counterflux on the board. Like, I wonder if, like, Counterflux plus Nimble Obstructionist plus, like, some of these other things could, like, actually let us, like, kill Storm. I also, by cutting the card that I'm thinking about that I can't articulate right now, by having cut Blood Moon, our Tron matchup gets a little bit worse, and Counterflux is pretty decent against Tron. Is it Charm and Counterflux do completely different things? Those cards do completely different things. I want my sweeper to kill Mantis Rider. I want my sweeper to kill Mantis Rider. Alright. So what do I need to grab? I need to grab Nimble Obstructionist and Counterflux. Counterflux is good against Tron because it's a cancel. It's a 3-mana cancel. I'm not playing narrow cards for a single matchup. So again, the goal is to like try and hedge a matchup like Storm without playing something as narrow as Mindbreak Trap. The goal is to hedge matches without playing narrow cards that are only good in a single matchup. Playing exceptionally narrow cards that are only good in single matches is generally bad deck building in Modern because there's no guarantee that you're going to play against those matches. Dead Gone's kind of cute. Dead Gone's kind of cute. I kind of like Dead Gone. That's funny. Just... I'm just banning people that suggested Staring Bridge. Those are people that aren't thinking hard enough to be here. Alright. Alrighty. Let's go grab these 4 cards and then play one more league before we wrap up for the day. We've got an hour and a half left. Crumble to Dust isn't good against Death and Taxes. Why would you want Crumble to Dust against Death and Taxes? I don't think Dredge is that bad of a matchup with 4 Angers in our board. You don't want Crumble to Dust against Eldrazi Temple decks. So the problem, Bok Choy, is that we don't flip Thing in the Ice very quickly. We're not a deck full of cantrips. Like, if we can't flip Thing in the Ice very quickly, we're not going to leverage Young Pyromancer well. All right, what am I cutting? What am I cutting from the sideboard? I need to cut 1 card here. I want all of these cards. I want all of these cards. What am I cutting? Oh no! Oh no, my head is falling off. Gonna prepare an itemized list for the things Trick Bind stops. Okay, Justin. Chalice is so good, though. It's so good. I don't want to cut that many anti-aggro cards. It's probably Chalice. I think I want 2 of all of these. It's probably Chalice. Alright, let's head back and let's just cut that for now and I can think more about it later. I think I'm pretty sure I want the Anger. This one's still called Serum Visions, even though there's no Serum Visions in it. Yep. Thing in the Ice is very good. It controls the board and kills our opponent very quickly. No, I'm not bringing in counterspells against Bloodbraid decks. I'm bringing in counterflux against decks like Tron and decks like Storm. Alright, thank you for the reminder. Updating Stream Decker now. So here's the thing, chat. The decks that you want Anger of the Gods against don't give you a lot of time to find your Anger of the Gods, is the thing. The decks that you want Anger of the Gods against don't give you a lot of time to find Anger of the Gods. Burn. Probably can't win. I'm actually not sweating at all, which is great. Costume's great. Wish we had another Chalice on the board. Yep. Yep. Let's try again. Let's try and get a matchup that's winnable. I'm pretty sure the burn matchup's bad enough that I'm just not playing it. I don't think I'd want Leyline against discard decks. Leyline against Burn and Storm seems okay. I don't know. It's like asking, is Chalice of the Void better? I think Chalice is better. Chalice, it's a pretty wide range of decks. Chalice, it's a pretty wide range of decks. You can look back at my stream deck, or I've updated it a few times today. You played a full match against Bird. No. I'm just never going to win. Never, ever going to win. And that's okay. It's okay. The Tron matchup's reasonable. Man, my favorite is when salty babies get banned from Twitch chat here, and then they go complain about it on other forms of social media. You just, like, feel the sodium radiating from them. His hand is kind of loose. On the play, too. Yeah, I'm just going to go down again. Remember that time we had a Landstar deck? That's perfect. I don't know. I genuinely haven't played with that in the sideboard before, so it might be fine. I don't know. The question again, when I feel like people don't understand how to approach building sideboards. The question is never, is my hoser going to be good enough in a given matchup? That's usually not the question. Like, yes, the hoser is going to be good in the matchup you want the hoser in. The question is, are the slots that this hoser is taking out of my sideboard worth the amount of slots that they're taking out of my sideboard? That's the question you actually have to ask yourself and answer. Yes, the Leyline of Sanctity, when you have it against Burn, it's going to be fucking great. It's going to be A+. The question is are those 4 Leyline slots worth the other percentage points I'm going to lose elsewhere? That's the question you have to try and answer for yourself. This Reman's gonna be really great against this Bloodbraid. Urza's Mindslaver with the 3-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I do appreciate the continued support. I cast this and gas up here a little bit. Maybe hit a trap and get them for a little bit of damage here. It's an Ebony Owl and a Cryptic Command Suite. So we're going to 14 here. I'm gonna get to Ebony Owl them next turn plus hold up Remand. Maybe in conjunction with this Cryptic Command, maybe some Boomerangs and stuff, we can keep them in this game. If we get a Boomerang here, that would be insane. So we can go Ebony Owl, bounce this Forest, like, knock the Utopia Sprawl off, like, set back their mana. Vision Skeins, yeah, that's fine, not a big deal. If they bolt me here in response to this trigger, I'm just going to go ahead and Vision Skeins, keep their hand full. They have 5 mana. Hopefully they just cast like a Stormbreath Dragon here and we get to remand it. Would be ideal. It's a good example of like we're just racing our opponent here where Ebony Owl is pretty good because we're kind of set up but they have a clock on the table. Sure. Came back. Came for the deck, stayed for the costume. Apelon. I'm really bad at that username. At any rate, thank you very much for the 3-month resubscription. A quarter of a year. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for re-upping. 5 mana here still. Another Bloodbraid would be a little scary. We're hoping to find boomerangs, and a Stone Rain here would be pretty good for us. Any 3 mana spell, really, that we can remand and like something back would be ideal. Looking for exhaustions, looking for boomerangs. I guess this Cryptic Command can pick their forest back up, huh? Please, please, big 5 mana spell that I can remand. Big 5 mana spell that I can remand. Big 5 mana spell that I can remand. Hey, oh, let's go. Hey, oh, let's go. Be-do-do-do-do-do. 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 Doot. All right. Send that one back where it came from. They have an elf here that's a little annoying. Just a bolt, sure. Vision Skeins on our turn. Lets Ebony Owl hit them next turn. Oh, I guess bouncing their land also lets Ebony Owl hit them, huh? And just like bounce this. Oh, that's gross. Would like to draw a Simian Spirit Guide so I can do both of these. Or we could just brick and die. Just brick and die. The problem with tap bounce is that it gives my opponent 5 mana still, so I don't think I want them to have 5 mana. We just need more spells. We've had what? 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 6 spells and 15 cards. Comes the beat sometimes. Molten Rain. So we got 1, 2. They got 5 left over. No, because they get to replay the Forest Sharp. They get to replay the land you bounce. I'm just letting this happen. Hey, Mugashi, with that brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just need to draw a card here. Just did the bolt. Exhaustion's a really good draw. Second exhaustion, also really good. Spirit Guide, also decent. Now I kind of wish I hadn't left myself dead to Lightning Bolt. Kind of wish I hadn't left myself dead to Lightning Bolt. Let's get these exhaustions. Maybe I was supposed to counter tap their team. The scary part about leaving yourself dead to cards that they have is like our deck lets them draw a bunch of cards, right? So like when they have outs to draw to, like they're gonna see a lot of cards to potentially be able to draw them. So the good news is about flooding early is that Now that there's a lot of gas in our deck. Alright, that's a Rune Flare trap. So that means if they don't kill us here, we get to kill them with another trap next turn. Potentially. No, that's not true, right? Because they had to play that. They got to play this out. So this puts them to 6. Probably dead to bolt no matter how we slice this. Do I want to... Does pitching the Spirit Guide and casting Trap now do anything for me? Does it give me any other outs that I wouldn't have otherwise? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So I think I want to just start my turn. I don't think I gain any outs by doing that. Get 2 draws here, our draw step plus our Howling Mine. Vision Skeins, okay. I'm going to start with this. It makes the Owl trigger during their turn, and we could hit another Exhaustion. It's unfortunate. Okay, so what do we need to hit now? We need to hit like another Rune Flare trap. Another Boomerang. I guess if their hand is mono bricks, we could kill them here, right? Probably just gonna get bolted though. It's a real shame. It's a real shame we can't trap them here. It's a real shame we can't trap them. So if I would have held on to my Vision Skeins, we could have killed them here. Yeah, I had lethal if I Skeins in their upkeep. Yeah. Well, no, that's actually not true. Because the Netsook wouldn't have triggered, right? If I didn't Skeins on my turn, the Netsook wouldn't have triggered. Could I have Boomeranged them? Maybe I could have Boomeranged them. Well done. I'll save them some brain power. Yeah, I could have Boomeranged to put them to 7, and then use the other one. So maybe that was a line. And the ice seems pretty good here. The Netsook doesn't trigger if your opponent doesn't already have the cards in their hand. So your opponent has to have 7 cards for the Netsook trigger to go on the stack. It's an intervening if. It checks when it would go on the stack and it checks when it resolves. It's one of those magic things that's not particularly intuitive. We're dead on board, Toon Thingy. Yeah, the line was Boomerang to put them in Owl range, and then hit them with the Owl, and then Vision Skeins plus trap them. That is correct. Thank you for pointing that out. I want these things. What do I want to cut? Again, just like sitting there crossing my fingers, hoping to draw a Rune Flare trap, because Rune Flare trap is excellent. It's an anger matchup. They have a lot of piddly crap, right? If I do this, I'm gonna do this, see how it feels. The Everyman's kind of medium. Yep, hand's great. Turn my mind on the play. So the thing about the sudden impact and the Rune Flare traps, they are the worst card in your deck until they're the best card. And I know that sounds weird to say, but that's how I feel about them. It's the absolute worst card you can draw until it's winning you the game. So they are clunky, they are awkward, they have a real cost. And one of the things to keep in mind when you're winning the game in this deck, you draw a bunch of cards. So you're seeing a bunch of cards when you're winning the game. Maybe I should have boarded this out. Well, it's different in other combo wins ecstasy, because in other combo decks, your deck isn't what's the word I'm searching for? You aren't my brain is just off. We've been doing this for almost 11 hours. For fuck's sake. Okie doke. No, I think the 1 owl is fine. It lets you steal games that you wouldn't otherwise win. It's kind of awkward at some points, but in general, it's fine. If we hit another land, we can cryptic bounce this. No, my opponent mulliganed Pinky, so the owl wouldn't have done damage to them. If the owl could do damage to them, maybe it becomes a consideration, but I still don't think so. If they crack this clue, I get to trap them off my Sulfur Falls, which is nice. The deck list is on your screen. I think we have like 9, 7. I'm making up numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I was right. 9. Look at that. Way more than 6. Two shots at a land. Maybe we'll get really lucky and they'll crack some of these clues. And we have to kill them in response. That's true. The fact that I'm not playing Blood Moon in my sideboard anymore kind of encourages me to like play some of the weird islands that beat Choke. And actually, it's funny. The one of the islands actually, not Ouroboros, but the other one, Mikukoru. No, this is Mikukoru, Center of the Sea. Manamo. Manamo untaps Manamo. I don't even remember what it's called, but there's one of them on Manamo. It untaps a legendary thing, so you can actually use it with Mikukoru when you have a ton of mana. So you can like Mikukoru, Manama, untap your Mikukoru again, which is funny. It untaps click 2. Hey, Kzizzle89 with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I do appreciate that. Thanks for sending your Amazon fun money this way this month. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. I feel like I kind of miss having more boomerangs. I cut all the eyes to nowhere, and I think I miss having them. Yeah, but like I'm always gonna have plenty of other lands for them to Stone Rain. Like one land being hard to Stone Rain is largely irrelevant. Your videos helped me recover from a car bicycle collision. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Thank you for the bits, Nick. I think the one owl is okay. I don't know, maybe we're just supposed to just turbo trap people, basically. I'm unsure. I'm actually just gonna hold up Remand here, because like the owl's not actually gonna do anything, right? A line that exists is tapping your mind with Cryptic. I don't think you know what Cryptic Command does. Cedar Wayfinder. Alright, let's remand that one. Why do I want to swap a mine for a dictate? I mean, don't think of Owl as a one of. Think it as a... Think of it as a fifth win condition past the traps. Abrupt Decay, gross. I'm gonna play Netsook and then Vision Schemes here, so they take some damage during their upkeep here. The only owl does pop up. I mean, we do draw a lot of cards, to be fair. Like, it's a one of, but remember, we're drawing a bunch of extra cards each game. Most games we're seeing 30 plus cards, so like seeing a one of in the top half of your deck isn't that unlikely. Yeah, I think Twin Cast is super narrow. Like, I'd much rather just like I have a bunch of effects that I'd like to play more of as is. I don't think I want Twin Cast for any of the other ones. Thoughtseize, that's rude. Sweet, they didn't have another play here, so that's good for us. So I get to go ahead and Fever Vision is a great draw as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and Boomerang this Satyr Wayfinder back to their hand and then cast Fevered Visions. Yeah. So I get to draw another card here. Netsuck will hopefully for them here. No instance is awesome for us. Let's take the 4. And then hopefully Boomerang plus Exhaustion next turn can get the Netsuck to trigger again. I don't know how you've played this deck for 12 hours and I used to play Nick Fit at Opeds. I gotta prepare. I'm gonna play it for 12 hours straight in Milwaukee where I'm gonna 9-0. You just gotta believe, chat. You just gotta believe. Are they gonna kill the Netsuck or are they gonna kill the Fevered Visions here? The Fevered Vision is self-enabling, but the Netsook does more damage. It's probably the Fevered Visions, right? Wow, they killed the Netsook. That's really good for us. Yeah. Alright, Exhaustion you. Cast this. And again, I'm going to go ahead and fetch here because the thinning is statistically significant with the amount of cards that we see. So they're going to be down to 5 here. So Trap will be lethal. We have 4 of those in our deck. This is a good example of like a game where Netsook was very good, right? The Netsook was very reasonable this game. Another Fevered Visions. I'm gonna play this. Play another Fevered Visions, pass the turn. Leave up Cryptic Command here. In case they have like Maelstrom Pulse or something. Love the costume, it's a hoot. Rookie XP. Thank you very much for the 5-month resubscription. I do appreciate it. Thanks for sending your fun money this way again this month. We just need to keep Siege Rhinos off the table, basically, right? Those are their ways to gain health. They could double Rhino this turn. Buy owl costumes before they spike. Dumb apple juice. Thank you for the bits, bud. I appreciate that. Thank you for the cheer. Thank you everyone for hanging out here today. I hope everybody had a great weekend. There's a lot of different things you could be doing, different people you could be watching, but thanks for choosing to spend your time here with us. I'm gonna go ahead and remand this, because remember, if you remand a flashback spell, they don't get to do anything with it. Oh yeah, we've got double fevered, right? I've got a fever. I've got a fever, chat, and only the visions can make it right. That's a battle cattle. Moo cow! Is that a good draw, chat? What do you think about that one? Whenever someone talks about Exhaustion not being good in this deck, I'm like, have you been watching the same games that I've played? Because Exhaustion is the nut. Exhaustion is the nut. Have my money, you awesome owl man being. Thank you for the bits, Pinky. All right. Did I just click submit? Who's feeling click submit here? I don't feel like any of our sideboard cards line up particularly well, and our main deck seems okay against what they're doing. Click submit. They're a Lingering Souls deck, I think, so I don't think click is good. Sand a mulligan. I guess their hand's a discard deck, so I should keep most things. Just wear it and play a real deck. Andrew with the lines. They're scared of the owl, chat. They're scared of the owl. The owl we put the fear of the owl in them. They ain't want to battle the owl. The owl is scurry. Let me tell you about my boomerangs, opponent. It's objectively in existence, right? Candy is great. I live for candy. I'm just gonna let this happen. I think I want to Miku Koru here. Just try and get some velocity going. I'm just passing here again, and I'm going to draw another card. If they want to play a 4-drop, I can just exhaust them a little bit. Put a Restoration Angel into their hand. The Easter owl actually lays eggs. Remand's a good pickup. So is Boomerang, really. I'm gonna exhaustion them. Because if they don't Restoration Angel here, it's like I got an exhaustion out of them anyways, right? So, like, even if they just don't do anything here, that's fine with me. Why would the opponent be ghosting? Drawing a red source at some point will be nice, but Thoughtseize sucks. Gonna lose this exhaustion here. Vision Skeins. If I hit a red source, I can activate Miku Koru and then Rune Flare trap them. I guess I want to set myself up to Boomerang a couple of things here. Yeah, I'm gonna Miku Koru plus Boomerang this turn, and then maybe next turn. I don't think they're gonna be able to. No, the costume's fine. Which is great. I was definitely a little worried about it being scratchy and stuff, but it's been great. This deck is vintage playable. I've not played Amulet Titan recently, no. Activate this now. Looking for a land here. That's unfortunate. Do I want a Vision Skeins? I could brick here. I want a Vision Skeins. Looking for a red source. Ding. It's going to take us a little bit of a hit here, but we also get to just go ahead and dome my opponent for 10. It's like 10U. Go. Because I wanted to see what I was drawing with the Miku Quarter to decide how I wanted the boomerang. This deck actually gets a couple of fun tools in Legacy. There's this 2-mana enchantment that says whenever a player puts a creature card into play, they have to return a land they control to their hand, which sounds quite excellent. This is a Siege Rhino. I'm a little bit sad, and I'm pretty sure they play 4 of those. I guess they could have it on Burial Rates too, because there's a Rhino in their bin. Looking for Exhaustions, which we've already played, gone through 2 of. Looking for Cryptic Commands to buy combat steps. I'm unsubscribing from you, IRL, if you play this in Legacy. You're such a Debbie Downer, Mike. Why you have to be mad? It's only game. Maybe they'll get Thoughtseize. Oh, they're getting Inquisition. Sure, that makes sense. Rats! They saw the line to not Thoughtseize us. The Hoagland PayPal code only works if you're paying cash. So it doesn't work if you're buying stuff with event tickets. So if you are paying with PayPal, if you're not paying with PayPal, it does not work. No, I've not been impressed with Snapcaster in this deck in the past. Ban that Mike guy, get him out of here. No, we got choked in game 2. They had turn 2 choke in game 2, and we just got destroyed. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage here, so that seems fine for us. Air Steel got timed out for complaining needlessly. Legacy gets standstill. You have 52 more minutes at least. No, you cannot Snapcaster Backtrap for the alternative cost. That's one of the reasons why it's not good. Alright, so I'm going to activate Miku Koru in response here, because if we hit a trap, they die. Alright, if we get a trap, we can kill them with this Vision Schemes plus the Miku Koru here. This has been instructive and a lot of fun. Pinky, thank you for the 3-month resubscription. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Alright, this is just fire off visions, right? I've got, what, 5 looks to find another trap here? And play 4 of them for a reason. We play 4 of them for a reason. That reason right there. That's why we play 4 traps. That's why we play 4 traps, chat. Yeah! God, the Vision Schemes are so good. Need to figure out... I don't know what all the details are in this deck, chat. But with the four traps... 4 traps is what we're playing. During 2 Fever Visions. Yep. To the owliest stream. Slippery ale hugs. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the bits. This is Evan Irwin, by the way, Mr. Orange. I believe he uses the same hashtag on, or same username on Twitter. Okay, Search for Ascanta decks are usually good matchups, especially when we get to Stick of Fever Visions early. The stream is fire. I've been having a good time. Thank you for the salty bits, RW Pointer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sunken Hollow. That's interesting. We got about another 45 minutes, Rick. 50 minutes, an hour, somewhere in there. Somewhere in there. This might just be an exhaustion turn. Well, I'm not sure that I care. It might just be a Stick Howling Mine turn. Actually, just get more card velocity going. Yeah. Remember, your exhaustions are more valuable the later you play them when you're drawing more cards per turn. Yeah, the biggest takeaway is play 4 traps. I think the second takeaway for me is that I kind of miss Eye of Nowhere. I think I want at least 6 boomerangs in my deck. The unsubstantiates have been good, so I think I'm just going to play like 2 unsub, 2 eyes. Yeah, this is a Jace. We can just play through Jace. I've not tested a White Splash. This is the best card in this deck, so you want red in your deck. Also, the trap is good. You can't just kill them with Owl. Just the Owl is not enough. Well, the good news about flooding is that hopefully it means we're just about to draw just a bunch of action here. You do not really want to redirect to Jace. Jace can stay right there. Well, that's a trap. All right. Let's exhaustion them. It's a remand. Okay, it's decent. Yeah, I agree. I think we need more boomerangs. I concur with that assessment. Ooh. Ooh. Little does Evan know he's activated our trap card. He's activated our trap card. Yep. So they're gonna go to up to 9 cards, then down to 10, and then this is gonna put them to 1. So trigger. No, don't redirect. Send this upstairs. No, don't redirect. Okay, Remand's not a bad draw. Noxious Revival. Yeah. Let's put this back on top of my deck here, so that way if they draw any extra, this is the way there should be super dead regardless of how we slice this. We've got double remand here. Wait, they've got... Oh, are they playing blue-black taking turns? They're playing taking turns, aren't they? I'm not sure I would have showed me the dictate. I wasn't 100% what he was playing, but this tells me that they're playing taking turns, right? Have all of the cards, friendo. You will not do the time warp again. Never again. Stop it. This is like a 95-5 favored matchup. I don't know about that. Counterflux seems decent here. Do I need these vision schemes? I don't think I want to cut my mines. I think I'd rather cut the vision schemes before the mines, right? Giga Drowse is a good one to be aware of. I guess Commandeer is kind of decent against us too. I think I want to do this. I think I just want to submit like this. I don't think I want Thing in the Ice. You think they're gonna board out their mines? I mean, their deck can't win without mines. Like literally can't win without mines. I guess they could go on their Thing in the Ice plan. Double Sulfur Falls. Netsuck's probably pretty good here. So I think I'm going to keep this. They went to 5. They went to 4. Okay. That's one way to fight what we're doing. Gonna put this into play under counter magic here. I feel like if they're winning the game, the Netsuck should probably kill them. So just want to get that down. Kind of punished because now I can't turn 2 Fevered Visions. What are they playing and do I want to remand it? Yeah, I'm going to remand that one. Just not give them information about what's in our hand. Make them play it again next turn. Yeah, Fevered Vision is probably better than Ebony Owl Netsuke in this matchup, honestly. This card is just like the reason why the deck is great, right? It's very, very powerful. Said multiple times that this is just the best card in the deck. Command. Let's just help them out here. And now I can start boomeranging their lands. They're probably a little bit too far behind at this point. Missing land drops is pretty much a death knell in this matchup, it feels like. You have a Jace, steal. My wife told me to stop sending you bits. I'll show her no one tells me what to do. I'll watch ads for bits. Trust me, I understand if you do what your wife says. That's what I do too. Do I want to kill the Jace here? No, I'm fine with them having a bunch of cards in their hand, right? Just like perfectly okay with that. Am I bouncing a land here? Probably not. Probably not. I have Remand. And I have this Trap, too. Trap with Counterflux to protect it seems great. Missing our land drop there feels really bad. They take 4 here. Do I want to... Oh, I can just kill Jace with this, right? Yeah, I'm going to kill Jace with the Owl. I think that's worthwhile. Maybe that's wrong, because they're at 16. I guess I could have potentially killed them here, right? Because this would put them to... If I put them to 12, this would put them to 10, and then this could put them to lethal. You know what? I'm just going to be a little conservative here. I'm just going to boomerang some lands during their end step. Rather than try and play into a pretty obvious counterspell here. I guess this gives them a window to, like, Cryptic. Oh, they have boomerangs of their own. That's funny. Yeah, this is fine. I'm just going to replay my Sook next turn anyways, right? They're remanding my boomerang. That's fine. I'll just replay my boomerang here. And then on my next turn here, hopefully we hit a... Oh, that's another trap, huh? That's hopefully a very lethal trap. Alright, yeah, play this Netsook out. Do I want to boomerang lands here? Probably not. Yeah, probably. Who am I? Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Discard. This Cryptic Command's probably too slow. I probably don't need this Fevered Vision. Alright, this should be lethal then, right? We just get to, like, pitch. Wait, actually, even just a single trap is lethal here? I say we can actually double trap them, right? Because we have the Spirit Guide. What's going on, Tuber? Yeah, when I say we're gonna do 12 hours, I mean 12 hours. When I say 12, I mean 12, chat. I mean 12. I don't know what I want to trim from here. I want 2 more. I want 2 Eye of Nowheres in this deck, and I don't know what I want to cut for them. We are the superior boomerang deck. Oh no, not Aether Vial. Aether Vial is scary. Poop Bears is a hard... That's a lot of Aether Vials. Poop Bears is a harder matchup for us for sure. Just gonna send this back from whence it came. Our deck doesn't keep cards in its hand consistently. So people pretty constantly suggest cards like Kefnet, and they suggest other cards that keep cards in hand. Our deck keeps like 2 to 4 cards in its hand a lot of the time. We're good at spending our resources. Voice of Resurgence, sure. Yeah, so I'm gonna play this Fevered Visions, but we're definitely not in a position that we're winning a race here, right? With these Vision Skeins, and this is why I really like Vision Skeins in this deck, is we could potentially hit a couple of traps and steal this game with traps, right? This is definitely a game that we could potentially steal with trap cards. A little bit less than 50% cord. Neferix with the $5 donation. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Any chance of an adult beverage stream? I absolutely love your stream from one teacher to another. I only have an hour left. I don't know if I feel like drinking tonight. I have to be up tomorrow. I have to be awake and conscious tomorrow. So these boomerangs are just like a big old bag of dicks, right? Because like they have all these Aether Vials on numbers too. I'm about to get tech edged as well here, which sucks. So, this looks like a matchup where I want 4 Anger of the Gods on my board. Looking like a matchup where I want 4 Angers of the Gods on my board. Yeah, game 1, we don't have a lot of tools here, that's for sure. Again, we're just looking to steal a game that we otherwise would never win through on the back of trap cards. Yeah, that many Aether Vials is really bad for us. Bad news voice. Bad news bears. As they put bears and bears and bears into play. 1 bit is 1 penny. So when someone shares 100 bits, it's giving the streamer $1. They're gonna take one of my things away here. Yeah, looks like it. They're taking my land away. That's cute, I guess. Alright, so we're going to be moving into the range of Cryptic, tap, draw your team every turn here very soon. And by very soon, I mean not quite this turn, but next turn. We have a 2-drop here, sure. So this is 6, 10, this is 12, and we're at 13. Do I want to do anything here? I think I want to unsub one of these Flicker Wisps, potentially. So that way I can fetch shock in a red source next turn. Is that relevant? Let's draw my card for the turn and see what I hit. That's a Noxious Revival. Okay, so what Noxious Revival means is I want to tap, draw their cards this turn. The Aether Vials also make it hard for... The Aether Vials also make it hard for me to be able to Vision Skeins and then trap them for locks. They get to put a bunch of creatures in play. So we're going to tap draw their team when we enter combat. Looking to hit natural red sources here. Looking for Sulfur Falls. Looking for non-fetch land red sources. Non-Sulfur Falls red sources. We don't need a mass bounce spell. We just cast Anger of the Gods and kill other creatures. Like, do you see all these Aether Vials? Don't bounce their stuff. Just kill all of it. Other builds of this deck had mass bounce spells, and it seems really terrible. I don't understand why you would want a mass bounce spell when you could just, like, kill their board and be done with it. Yeah, but I mean, like, we have very reasonable outs. It's not going to take us long to click through this, so I'm going to take one more turn here before we concede. Oh, that's probably the game. It's almost certainly the game. Yeah, thing in the ice does damage too. That's really unfortunate. Huh. Okay. God, I forgot this card was in our deck. This card's so good. They haven't been playing lands either, so they must have other things they can vial into play. We could still be very dead, but that's a good hit. No, they just don't untap lands and creatures, so they get to untap their vials, which really sucks. Vial's very good against us. So we're gonna go to 6 here. Hopefully hit some more, another land drop. I just don't understand why you would play this card, but you could play good Magic cards instead. Like, most of these decks, like, they're pretty reasonable Magic cards that are disruptive. It's like, you're playing a mediocre Magic card to make other kind of okay Magic cards marginally better. How many cards have we drawn this stream? A lot of fucking cards, that's how many. It's really unfortunate we didn't hit a land there. Yeah, I think the Thalia is just too much. If they hadn't hit the Thalia, we probably would have been able to give them with the traps, but so close and so far away. If they hadn't had triple vial, we probably would have been able to power through this, but they just had too many ways to get their things into play too quickly. Alright, that Sook is pretty bad. Remand is pretty bad. One more cut here. Thanks for tuning in, Aggro Fiend. Hanging out, catching us at the tail end here. We're currently at hour 11 and a half. 25 more minutes. Finish this matchup, and then maybe wind down talking about what I'm interested in doing. Oh yeah, I need to cut Owl. I thought I said cut Owl and then didn't actually cut it. I only cut the rebands. Chalice for Vial is fucking terrible. That's really narrow. The Vial is annoying, but not Bring Chalice that annoying. I'm gonna cut a Rune Flare trap. No, the monkey was not a win, chat. That's not how Thalia works. Thalia makes their stuff cost too much. We're also just gonna die to the Scavenger user stuff they're putting into play. I guess this is really good at flipping my thing. This hand's great. It's everything I want to be doing post board here. What game did you just watch that you're like you finish? I can't. What? You want to smash Aether Vials that badly? You want to smash Aether Vials that badly? Post board, we care about Aether Vial a whole lot less. We just get to kill their stuff, chat. Thing isn't about being. This is a good example of a matchup where Thing is good. People, I feel like, are used to looking at Thing in the Ice and basically these turbo Thing in the Ice decks. And this is our goal with this deck isn't to be a turbo Thing in the Ice deck. Thing in the Ice is a board control card that eventually takes over the game and helps keep them in check and also blocks a little bit on the in-between. Thing in the Ice also, more importantly, kills our opponent. Apparently, everybody's leaving in Path to Exile. Maybe the Thing plan is bad. Maybe people are right. Maybe I'm dumb. Actual everyone has just left in fucking Path to Exile against us. So maybe Thing actually isn't good enough. Maybe it's just no good. It's just genuinely unsure. Let's give it up for Cascade Bluffs here, by the way. Just doing what it does best. Yeah, honestly, maybe counting on Magic players to like sideboard accordingly. Yeah, you can count on people not. I think that's honestly the case, and that maybe the Thing plan is bad just because everybody leaves removal in against me. Yeah, the Cascade Bluffs has been A+, just consistently. Leave those lands tapped for a turn. On paper, the Thing is fine. In actual practice, everybody with white men in their deck has left Path to Exile in it. Yeah, it could just be too predictable. That's fair. I feel like I need an alternate way to kill people, though, because, like, this matchup, I need a way to actually end the game. They're just, like, too efficient at getting their hand empty consistently, right? Yeah, that's fair, Cardboard Crackling. But, like, my Thing in the Ices aren't for the control matchup, right? They're like these creature decks that only have 4 pieces of removal. Like, these little piddly creature decks have all left in all of their paths against us. People are so dumb. Well, Thing in the Ice isn't good because people keep leaving Path to Exile and against us. What if we board in Kiki Jiki to combo? Also dies to Path to Exile. No, I've beaten Ship Heirs once or twice with this deck. A lot of times we've lost this matchup is because we've bricked and died. I'm gonna cast this Vision Skeins in response here, so the Fevered Vision sets them for damage here, hopefully. Anger is pretty dope here. So we can set up a turn where we get to, like, tap down their team and bounce this, and then Anger while the Aether Vial's off the table. Again, the problem with boarding in win conditions like some of the ones people are suggesting is that people are already planning to kill our artifacts and our enchantments, right? So like boarding in more artifacts and enchantments generally isn't a great plan. So I'm going to pitch Spirit Guide and Cryptic Tap draw their team here, I think. They board out Noxious Revival. No, I have Noxious Revival, so I don't want to go that low. So we'll tap draw their team here, and then next turn we can boomerang this plus Anger clean the board. It looks like we can't cast Cryptic Command, which is funny. Oh, Mana Monkey. Oh, Mana Monkey. Yeah, I think EE is not good enough. Yeah, I think Gyarados is too expensive. Discussing replacing Thing in the Ice because Thing in the Ice keeps getting pathed. Twitch chat user suggests a card that's only good because Path doesn't get played. What? What? Sometimes I have to look around and wonder, like, is this, you know, like, is this actually what I'm reading here? Prognosis. You mean Prognostic Sphinx? I played that card in Standard. All right, we got 2 more Angers in our deck. We've got 1 Noxious Revival in my deck. Mikukoru. They've got 7 cards in their hand. I am not dead on board, so I've got that going for me. Chat, stop suggesting other cards that lose to Path to Exile. Stop suggesting other cards that lose to Path to Exile. Please, for the love of God. For the love of God, stop suggesting other board plans that lose to Path to Exile. That was not the card I intended to play. I had intended to unsubstantiate, but I was salting at chat. I can kill them now, though, right? This is actually lethal. That's funny. Was not intending to do that, but now we drew Rune Flare Trap and they're dead. That's funny. Salting at chat, accidentally kill opponent. Salting off at chat, accidentally kill opponent. Accidental lethal. Alright. Alright, what are we doing here? I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. Chat lethal, yep. I'm gonna cut these fucking thing in the ice, actually. That's actually the case. I'm not happy with that card. Let's put this Dictate back in my deck. Let's put a Remand back in my deck, I guess. Don't ever say we never did anything for you, right? The true chat lethal. Will you be wearing a Rune Flare Trap costume later? Yep, in. Also have Cascade Bluffs here, which is great. You're gonna lean on Misty Rainforest because they're second fetch kind of sucks. They're Leonin Arbiter deck, so you want to play your fetches out aggressively. Things whatever against Flicker Wisp. Karanos could get pathed in this deck. It's not super likely, but it is a thing that could happen. Obstructionist can mess with fetch lands. It can counter storm triggers. It's just an extra threat when we need an extra threat. They already played their land right, so I can fetch a tapped land here. Yep. This is the last match of the night. Yep. Yep. Holy shit. I think we might just steal this on the back of the Anger of the Gods, right? Down to 11. The gods are very upset. There will be no more taxes, opponent. There shall be no more taxes. No taxes for anyone. Freedom! The owl gods are angry, right? Deal. Tech edge me. Tech edge me! Or play another grizzly bear, one of the two. Feels like a tech edge, though. Yep. Alright. This is going to power them into more cards, but it's going to power me into more cards too, and I already have this Anger of the Gods in my hand. That's unfortunate. It's to be down to 8. That's my fevered visions happen again here. You're much more pleasant when you're like a Chet Owl costume, right? Hey, Ondimon66, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. I don't want to splash a third color, chat. You lose a lot of consistency when you splash extra colors in a deck like this. We don't have a lot of fetch lands in our deck. It's like that for a reason. Unsubstantiate, that's pretty good. Alright, so... do I want to just cast the Simeon Spirit Guide? I think I do, right? Actually, I'm just gonna anger. I lose my fevered visions if I anger, though. I guess I could cast Howling Mine, and then... can I die next turn if I just pass? I could die? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm gonna pass here. If they play nobles, I just unsubstantiate the thing that they attack with Exalted. If they play nobles, I just unsubstantiate the Exalted thing that's attacking. Yeah, they can activate the creature land. That's not a big deal. I'm at 5, so if they activate the creature land and smash, I only go to 4. So, like, that seems fine. They don't have any actual reach in their deck, right? I don't die if they play triple Exalted Creature, because I just unsubstantiate their one attacker. I'd be in danger of dying the following turn, but that's fine. Sure. Alright, so that puts them to 13. Huh. So I probably just want to anger here, right? I'm just going to anger here. They do get to Quasley Pride Mage. Nope, just a big old punch there on their part. Sure, deal. Opponents played real loose. Oh man, are we dead? Oh, double Skeens, kill, and draw step? Yeah, you're right. You're right, double Skeens, kill, and draw step. Okay, so since I drew Cryptic Command, I should just wait, right? Since I drew Cryptic Command, I should just wait. Since I drew Cryptic Command, I should just wait here, right? Because I can use the Mana Monkey to filter through Cascade Bluffs to use the Cryptic Command. Whereas if I... Well, no, I wait for them to attack, chat. I wait for them to attack. I wait for them to attack, and once they declare attackers, I can then bounce their thing that's attacking. Yeah, I think we hold up the filter, yeah. Because if I go for the Vision Skeins and the Rune Flare trap, and I miss on a second trap, and they have a path or another resto, I could die here. Yeah, I'm just gonna say okay. Thalia doesn't rune it because I can if they cast Thalia, I can tap their resto and bounce their Wildwood. Right? Scavenging usually doesn't have anything to exile for health. God, Thalia's annoying. Although I guess I just get to anger that. They're down to 10. And then next turn I get to go Skeen's Trap kill you. I'm excited, chat. I'm excited. I think we're doing it. I think we're doing it. I think this qualifies as it. Yeah, but they're going to draw infinite cards here, chat. Zeta32, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. Yeah, Anger's very good in the matches that are hard. Anger's very good. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. So they're going to 10 cards here. And then I get to Vision Skeins. And then Rune Flare trap them. So they have 12 cards in their hand right now. They have 12 cards in their hand right now. Deveron with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you for, yeah, it says new, but I feel like you've been here before. Thank you at any rate for putting your Amazon fund money towards the channel this month. I do appreciate it. Thank you everyone that's staying up through the end here. Remember, if you didn't catch 100% of the stream that we have going on right now, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. I'm gonna hit publish on the first two 4-hour segments from today. And then we'll be posting this last segment as soon as it's done processing. I let it lapse for a bit, so it thinks it's nice. Yeah, if you don't renew within 30 days, it counts it as new. I'm just supposed to remand this, right? And this keeps 11 cards in their hand. Which means even if they have double path, the Rising Canopy deals them 1. So they should be dead exactly here. Should be dead exactly. Oh yeah, they died of the fever visions too. Sure. Yeah, they should be dead 2 different ways here. I'm gonna boomerang them as well. I think we ended up being right around 50%. Believe it or not. Ended up being right around 50%. You can go back and count through the 12 hours if you... Got that 3-2. Got that 3-2 at the end. All right. All right, things for the people out there that are students of the Owling Mine. Play 4 traps. That's my big takeaway. Play 4 traps. So, we've been live for 12 hours and 2 minutes. I'll be live again tomorrow. Remember, I'm going to have all my normal streams this week. I'm going to be live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with our normal donation deck list. We got a lot of really sweet decks coming up this week. So, not just all owls all the time. What do we have? We've got Zombie Loam and probably Reservoir Eggs and Sultai Shadow tomorrow. And then we've got Blue-Green Eldrazi and 5-color creatures and Sultai Midrange and lots of sweet stuff here. And if you want to click around and see some of the deck lists that are here, definitely check out the donation queue. If you want to see more owls, check out my YouTube channel. If it's your first time watching owls, I've been streaming this deck for a couple of weeks now. I'm going to go take this suit off and probably go throw it in the washer. And I'm going to get some actual dinner other than just the snacks that I've been eating. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I do appreciate it. And big shout out to all of my subs and everyone that donated to make this meme possible and have me take it to Milwaukee. If you're going to be in Milwaukee this weekend, make sure you come up and say hello. I always love meeting people. It'll be fun to take pictures in the owl costume. The kids are not coming with me, but Christy is coming with me up to Milwaukee next weekend. So she's going to wear her owl costume and she'll be at the convention center in the morning at the very least as well. So peace, folks, and catch y'all tomorrow, hopefully. Have a good start to your week.